Good morning, fellow punters. The clock on the wall says 12 minutes past 7 on the 4th of May 2024, the last day of Punchestown and the first classic of the season, the 2000 guineas in Newmarket. Out early out of the traps this morning, was in bed early last night. And what happened the night before, when I was uploading the video, it took 5 hours. So I used to check it every hour, because you have to do a few things when you get it up onto YouTube, monetize it and check it for copyrights and stuff. So it wiped my night's sleep out. And walking yesterday morning, we walked down to Derry from where we were. It was 20-25 minute walk, because they were walking the walls of Derry with a walking group, and downhill was fine again, so uphill again, the 20-minute walk for me. Good tough pull, but I wasn't in a rush, so I took a break halfway up. Now legs are beginning to slip a little bit. Beginning to notice that lately with the MS problem I have, so I hope it don't decline too much down the line. But uphill was tough yesterday. I don't know whether I need more exercise or just do moderate, but we'll see. We headed from there to Grinning and Alioch and on to Glenveigh, the National Park, Glenveigh Castle. But there was no toilet facilities, there was only the portaloos, and the women wouldn't use them, so I had to come back out to the visitor centre again. I just said to them, back in and drive out, you'll be alright, but no, they wanted the luscious toilets, women's toilets. But we went from there then to Killybegs, got here, missed the first race. Didn't know the result until after the second race, because I watched the video on the phone. And we're staying in Killybegs in the Sea Winds B&B. It's next door. It's there on the Diamond, next door to Boyle Sports, the Blue Bookies. And we didn't watch the second race there yesterday. Didn't know the result of the first one at the time. Watched that back then. Thought we were getting off to a good start with the Northerner 2 out. He was going well. She probably went for home too soon. Good gamble on Sean Doyle's horse, the winner. Wasn't aware that was going on during the day. There was no coverage in a lot of the Derry, or in coming from Derry yesterday through the back way through the mountains and that. So I ate across the road last night. Good feed and the deadly dessert with it, and you know what was on the menu. With a power of seconds yesterday, even in Churchill Downs. The last race of the night last night, just FYI, second in the Oaks. Went off favourite, awful sloppy track. I didn't notice it was going to be like that. Impel was second, Idiomatic won. Tapatrice was the non-runner, and Heavenly Sunday ran great until the last 50 yards. In Punchestown we had Allegory de Vasse, no good. By the Predator Goal finished in the top three, alright. Lark of the Morning wasn't a runner. And then we didn't go. We went with Fishery Lane, Mullins's, and no good. And the horse that won it, we actually backed in Galway at 25-1 last October. No, last August, 3rd of August. It was the day of the Galway hurl. And I actually backed that day at fives without the favourite. I was along with, I think it was Roy Harris at the time, was it? We gave it to a couple of women. They were looking for tips, and they didn't know who we were, but they were looking for advice. Anyway, on to today. I get out of the way. There's a few horses elsewhere before we go to Punchestown. That's the Derby, or no? At Newmarket today we have the guineas, but it's this famous horse is in it, City of Troy. It's in the 335. There's one bet at Newmarket I'm going to take a risk on. We backed it last year in the same race in the Palace House Stakes. It's Twilight Calls. The ground went against it last year. It was soft ground. Now, say is good here, and I don't know how the weather is in England, and I don't know what the going is in Punchestown either today. But Mitbahi, I think, is better at 6, even though it had a good run the last day for on its first run since leaving Roger Varian. It came to Charlie Hills. If you look at all, it's better for him. Well, I suppose he is a 5 furlong horse as well. But I think Twilight calls the ground with Moore up that it might be worth the bet. In the 5.45 at probably a reverse forecast, maybe between the two of them might be a safe option. Ballygriffincottage, that ran so well for us in the Scottish National, is down in class to a class 2, back to 3 mile. Didn't stay the last day. Lightly raced, even though it's a 9-year-old. That might be worth the bet. 205 at Goodwood, I see it going is heavy. Heavy ground suits Breege. John Quinn has had a couple of winners. She likes to get her toe in. Now, she has only one first time out, but she's ran in, a lot of Group 1, Group 3s. Listed a fair. Well, we'll see what price is she. 130 shot. An even race there. I'll be giving her a shot today, Breege. That didn't that didn't sound right. Oh. The Thirsk the Thirsk Hunt Cup. Oh Jesus. I have to compose myself. Last year it was won by Northern Express. We were on it. And it had a prep run last year. It was 5th to Guido first time out, and then it won on softish ground of 92. Now it's £10 higher, £9 higher this year. But it had a prep run the last day at 7 in Newmarket. Going for it again. Each way bet, Northern Express. There was... Oh yeah, the 210 at Thirsk. Do we do Thirsk? Yeah, the 210. Did you see that horse losing it that way back to a couple of times? That should have won, you'd imagine. It won the last year, which is a bad class race. It's out again today. Now, it ran well the last day, and I think did they put cheek pieces on it the last day for the first time or something? They put something on that settled it, and he dropped his head. He dropped his head the last day, and he looked like he knew what he was doing. You'd often see in that, when they get the bit of confidence, they might go in again. A horse there that we need to keep on side as well for the summer when we get good to firm ground is Holy Fire. I thought that ran very well the last time, which is behind Albaraz. We were on Albaraz, and Albaraz has won again since. It's only beaten a neck in Kimpton. But I see it's good to soft good in places, so that'd like good to firm. So depending on the ground and how the market is, if there was a few pound for it, you could really do it maybe with each way or without the favourite or whatever. On to Punchestown. And the many seconds we had on Unplaced horses this week. It's hard to know what's going to run here today on the cross-country chase after a few of them running during the week. Will Coko Beach come to the party again? Stumptown ran the other day. He was unseated. Even a horse that we backed the other day is in it. Enjoy Dalin, but he couldn't get across the banks today. But I don't know. There wouldn't be as many banks in the cross country as there was in the one the other day, I'm thinking. But it on the ratings, Danny Gilligan taking off 5. Unless they switch again to get a winner for Jack. But he's 4 or 5 ahead, isn't he? But it's Coko beaches to lose, you'd imagine, if it turns up, but will it? After the ground was against you the other day, but there was a drop of rain there yesterday evening, and I think there was supposed to be some overnight. I see no rain at all week. I was surprised when I seen the television yesterday to see rain in Kildare. There's a very open 22 runner affair then at 3:05. I came down. I'll see what price is it first. An each way bet. The Clark Kent, he was fourth in the Scottish Grand National. Lightly raced. Paul Townend takes the ride. Western Zara. Liam Quinlan is riding for Paul Nolan. He's taken off 5. But this is 3 miles 7. Is that correct? Which was third in Fairyhouse last year over 3:5 to Punitive. And to 7th in Cheltenham last year as well to Angels of Dawn. That'll be in the Kim Muir. Western Zara. And that, I think it'd be good to yield and be better on it. I was going for trying to get something into the first 6 if possible. So that'll be the selection. Last team out is out in the Champion Order. Should be a daddle to collect 50 or 75,000. We didn't get away with the forecast yesterday, 4-1. We're going to try it again today. An entry winner coming over cruise control for the 4:15. I thought Spanish Harlem, 6th in the Scottish Grand National, Danny Mullins. Paul Townend takes Glyngooley, and I know Glyngooley was placed in the Thyestes, and we went for it the next race out, but it didn't run great. I thought that horse there, 140 in England, it's 138 today. Spanish Harlem, Danny Mullins. Riding, might be an each way bet. Kargese or Kargese, whichever you want. Tomato. That'll be the selection. We didn't get Willie right too often during the week. Anything we didn't get too many of them right. But that's the selection, Kargese. Listed handicap hurl. Waterford Whispers is the favourite and a rightful favourite. It was behind Better Days Ahead in the Martin Pipe. 133 went up £2 for that, which £12 higher now than it was when it won in or placed in Ireland. Better Days Ahead ran well enough since. Castle de Mott was behind him a good bit in that Merton Pipe. That ran in Aintree since. We tipped it that day, but it didn't run hectic. But you'd imagine that Waterford Whispers should be classy enough to win that. Anyone that had £1 each way on Castle de Mott's the last day is 12-1, I think, is the bumper then. We chipped up a horse the other day, but it didn't. Attaho's brother, Attaho, runs in this. It's up against Willie's and one of Elliot's, but Attaho, we picked it the other day. We'll go with it again. Then we have the charity race. I'm not going to bother with it, but I was hoping, actually, about 10 months ago, I mentioned it to a lad, would he be interested in practicing over the winter and riding in this race today. I think it's 1,250 quid you have to pay for a jockey. You have to collect that much when he goes to charity. So I was going to get it, but hopefully I'm going to have somebody representing the channel, if I'm alive and well, this time next year. And anyone that might be interested, get in touch with me during the summer and we'll arrange to get you have to be able to get up on horseback and stay on, stay on as well. Or I might go back to the fellow that was sort of interested last year. Churchill Downs is on tonight. The Kentucky Derby is on at 12 o'clock, 3 minutes short. We have, I think, Sierra Leone, we tipped up that the last day and it won. That was bought for 2.3 million as a foal. Forever Young won the Emirates Derby. And Catching Freedom, we tipped that up when it won as well. Sierra Leone is drawn in 2. Fierceness was very impressive, winning it won the Breeders' Cup and then it won the Florida Derby. It hosed up in the Florida Derby, but it's drawn in trap 17, so you wouldn't know. It could get into bother and be wide in the first couple of furlongs going on the turn. Sierra Leone is a freak of a horse. It's a bit like that one a couple of years ago. I backed it already for it, and Catch Freedom has good late pace. Frankie has 3 rides tonight, and they're all. He has won in the 5:36. Mischief Magic. That was very unlucky the last day, wasn't it? Wasn't that the one? When it came behind Tarzak. Yeah, Tyler Gaffleone was on it. Frankie is on that one, and he's on one in the 840 Legend of Time. That's a fav as well. Could be a night. He likes the big day. He likes jumping off the horses. He likes the Yanks. You could do worse than doing a little tricksy with him tonight. Would Frankie ever do us a favour tonight? Frankie, if you're watching in, you know what you have to do. That one it hosed up in Medan when it beat Musical Art in March, so it's fit. And the other one then is on the 1027. This is the grade 1. It's on Naval Power. If you want him, you could take SP, but now it's all industry prices and they're just chalking up Frankie a bit shorter than he should be. Frankie. Oh yeah, behind Master of the Seas. Master of the Seas, grade 1 winning horse. There's a horse as well in the 656 that we'd have seen before in England, Coppice. Accused of his favourite as well. But just Frankie is on it as well, I forgot that. Just there could be a Yankee for Frankie. This used to be with Johnny G. 4th and Spiral in Newmarket in October. Yeah, it beat Breege. It beat our Breege, didn't it, that day, last year. Gone over to Chad Brown, the master of the turf in America. The 931. I thought Zozos might for Florent Garou. Last seen in the Breeders' Cup behind Cody's Wish. Ran a good race that day. Anyway, I have to get this into the oven, and hopefully it won't be as long cooking as it was the other night. It is now 7:33. Normally be up in about 15 minutes. So we're heading today breakfast at 8 and heading to Slieve League and Donegal Town and roundabout. I'll be passing on to Westport. We're in Westport for 2 nights. We'll be passing through Sligo tomorrow. There's racing in Sligo tomorrow. I must look at the card and see. I'll be missing Sligo tomorrow. I was hoping to get to Killarney next Sunday, but I don't think we'll be able to get to it now. I might be back out on the road. They're stuck for a driver for next week. So bash the bookies over and out.